And the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs has announced the 60th anniversary celebrations of Kenya's diplomatic journey. The celebrations, which are expected to run between November 26th and December the 7th, 2024, will feature a series of public events and activities in a bid to honor Kenya's rich diplomatic legacy and aspirations for the future. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who doubles up as Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary, says the 60th anniversary celebrations will include high-level events that capture Kenya's diplomatic journey and highlights its future aspirations.
Of diplomacy, advocating for mutual respect, dialogue and unity on the global stage. This has been to the benefit of our citizens as Kenya undertakes its role of a global citizen.
The ultimate document that will be launched on the 2nd is going to be a document that reflects the broad perspectives of Kenyans and truly captures their aspirations.
Moving on, the East African region will, in January 2025, convene a health summit to explore ways of enhancing the region's response to health emergencies. Experts say pandemics such as COVID-19, Ebola and Mpox call for the readjustment, that is, of protocols to contain the spread of the disease. Among the areas that the summit will focus on is enhancing healthcare infrastructure and emergency preparedness within the East African region.
Host the inaugural East Africa Region Global Health Security Summit, which will provide a roadmap to how the region shall deal with emerging health security challenges going forward.
Let us have our appropriate infrastructure in place, appropriate health systems in place, and personnel in place to enable us protect the region, protect East Africa, and protect the continent.
Speaking at a stakeholders engagement forum that brought together several agencies within the health sector, Hilary Limo, manager Public Health Emergency Operations Center at the Ministry of Health, said the summit will provide a platform to share common goals, preparedness and build resilience in health emergencies.
We're engaging here today present a unique opportunity to set the stage for what I believe will be a transformative chapter in the East Africa's approach to health security.
Building on lessons from past pandemics like COVID-19, Ebola and the recent health concern of Mpox, the summit aims to boost Africa's capacity to manage unforeseen pandemics.
There's lessons learned, there's conversations going on, there's a lot of policies going on. In Kenya today, the biggest conversation going on is healthcare.
Dr. Timothy Onwen, chairperson of the board of the National Cancer Institute, underscored the significant role played by community health promoters in strengthening health systems.
The first point of contact of communities with the healthcare system to be empowered in such a way that, first of all, they are able to detect not just patients who are unwell with various conditions, but also prepare them.
The summit will take place between 28th to 30th January 2025 in Kilifi County and will bring on board 14 East African countries.
Doreen Arange reporting there. The Chinese Embassy in Kenya and the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, KBC, have partnered to promote professionalism and integrity in journalism. The collaboration, launched on Tuesday at a Nairobi hotel, includes a 2-day training program aimed at equipping KBC journalists with critical skills to enhance their work.
Speaking at the event, KBC Editor-in-Chief Samuel Maina emphasized the importance of continuous learning and benchmarking, especially as technology continues to transform the media landscape.
So we want to enhance this collaboration between KBC and the Chinese Embassy so that we up our game by learning from the best. China is ahead in technology, and we can learn from the best. You can also send some journalists from China to come and work with our team here, and we also send our journalists to China. That exchange of knowledge is very important.
He noted that the partnership will foster mutual growth among journalists from Kenya and China.
We have many goals to achieve, and I'm confident we can rely on a continued support of the Chinese Embassy in Kenya and I look forward to more engagement and partnership in future.
On his part, Chinese Deputy Ambassador to Kenya, Zhang Zhengzong, highlighted the significant role journalists play in nation building.
Journalists and reporters, you are the core of media and also the key factors in the success of media in conveying the information and shaping perceptions and even leading a country or nation into a correct direction.
He urged reporters and editors to uphold ethics and deliver factual, verified information to their audiences, emphasizing that integrity is the cornerstone of responsible journalism.
Speaking in one way while practicing another way. This is why I don't believe that the artificial intelligence could really replace human journalists and editors, because artificial intelligence may not have their own real values.
The partnership marks a step forward in strengthening ties between Kenya and China, with a focus on empowering journalists to navigate the evolving media environment.
Thank you, Christiana Marcia, for that report. Of course, that particular training continues today. Let's look at business, where the government is banking on the upcoming livestock vaccination to double revenue from the livestock subsector. Livestock Policy Research Director Christopher Wanga says the vaccination exercise is part of the livestock master plan that is earmarked to open additional niche, that is, markets for Kenyan livestock products.
Kenya earned 191 billion shillings last year from the livestock subsector, representing a 24% growth from 2022. Earnings from cattle, goats and sheep accounted for a third of the earning, generating 154 billion shillings. To further increase earnings in the livestock subsector, the government says it will embark on a vaccination exercise that will target 77 million livestock as part of its livestock master plan. The vaccination exercise targets to contain the spread of foot and mouth and the pest petites, ruminants' highly contagious diseases.
We rely heavily on the veterinary services to transform the livestock sector. We have targets to achieve doubling our milk production, increasing revenue from leather and leather products.
The exercise targets to vaccinate 55 million goats and 22 million cattle within 1 year.
We are on the tail end of generating livestock information through the development of a livestock master plan that will inform targeted investments in the sector.
To facilitate frequent vaccination in the country and increase livestock production, World Organization for Animal Health is calling for capacity building among veterinary professionals to help address extension services challenges among small-scale herders.
We're fully conscious that no matter if you have good vaccines, good equipment and so on, nothing is possible without a strong workforce in the field.
Achieving the animal health strategy for Africa means ensuring that the capacities for veterinary workforce are in place, policies and regulations to ensure the prevention and control of animal health, and ensuring also all the animal welfare standards are implemented as per WUHA standards in all the African Union member states.
Kenya is banking on increased animal health to acquire new international markets.
Cybersecurity experts are calling for more public-private partnerships, funding to combat cybercrime. CyberPro Global Chairperson, that is Preston Odera, says there is need for a critical resilience mass to secure the country's digital economy. More with Alan Alco.
Computer Incident Response Team detected 1.1 billion cyber attack threats from May to June this year. This was a 16.5% increase from the previous quarter. The increased cyber attacks incidences are being attributed to a lack of awareness in cybersecurity matters.
Be close to the industry players so that they give you more of the information. They give the help because some of the companies have the funding. The government might not have all the resources required. Some might sponsor some of these courses so that we bridge that gap.
Players say a multifaceted approach, including roping in academia and government, are among ways to raise and increase cyber skills set among the population to reduce cyber attacks incidences. However, insiders in the sector say digital skilling goes beyond just cyber security.
The prediction is that we are soon going to have AI as a key player into the industry in most of products or services that are being rendered within the institutions or even within the country or even the continent.
Our specific relationship has grown because it is critical for government officials to also know, not only in terms of mind knowledge, but to practically be able to secure government records, government information from a cybersecurity perspective.
This emerged during the presentation of CyberPro Global's ISO certification in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence at a time when the country is looking to build capacity of institutions that are versed in cybersecurity and AI global standards.
We look at the private sector as also being very innovative in terms of identifying and addressing various needs for the economy. And we've seen a lot of companies, both local and foreign, being very vibrant in coming up with very innovative solutions that are addressing our Kenyan problems.
Let's look at sports now, where the National Syndemic Diseases Control Council, in collaboration with the Athletics Kenya, has organized the World AIDS Day Half Marathon set for this Sunday in Nairobi with the aim of creating awareness on prevention of the spread of HIV/AIDS. The race, which will coincide with this year's celebrations of World AIDS Day, will involve the half marathon, 10-kilometer, 5-kilometer family fun run, 2-kilometer CEO race and the 10-kilometer wheelchair race. Duncan Mwendwa with the details.
CEO Dr. Ruth Masha say they have also lined up other activities such as a candle lighting, memorial vigils and medical clinics, with proceeds from the race channeled towards people living with HIV drug injectable drugs.
We would like to leverage on what we've been doing for the last close to 40 years of addressing a disease a single disease that has been stubborn within our communities.
Athletics Kenya, the Nairobi branch, which is organizing the race, has called on both professional and amateur athletes to take up the opportunity and participate, owing to its good prize money structure and a platform to showcase their talent as Kenya join the rest of the world in the fight against the spread of the virus.
World AIDS is done all over the world. It's not only in Nairobi, and also other regions in this country also are organizing the event, and it is important that we succeed here in Nairobi because this is the center, the epicenter of everything that is happening in this country is done in Nairobi, and we are ready to work with them.
Winners of the half marathon will be rewarded 250,000, with the first runners-up bagging 200,000 shillings and the second runners-up bagging 100,000. In the 10-kilometer race, the winner will pocket 100,000 shillings, with the first and second runners-up bagging 70 and 50,000 Kenya shillings respectively.
Well, that report by Dan Mwendwa brings us to the end of the bulletin this morning. But be sure to join us later on in our subsequent bulletins for more news updates. My colleague, Michael Megwe, is up next with a viewpoint. My name is Marie Yambo.